and welcome to today's yoga session from the Yoga for ADHD series. Today is a yoga session for upset tummy, particularly for bloating, which people with ADHD are more likely to experience for some reason. So we're going to take it nice and gentle. We're going to do some movements that might help the digestion move, some that might just be a little bit more soothing. The reason that I'm filming this one today is because I'm feeling particularly bloated, for no apparent reason, just that's how it is today. So to begin with, find yourself in a standing position, feet are maybe shoulder distance apart. We're just going to begin to take a gentle sway. You can bring the hands to the belly if you're feeling particularly bloated and just give the belly a little massage, just a gentle rub around, bringing your attention to it and becoming aware. And sometimes we kind of almost hide the sensation by doing other things and distracting ourselves, and sometimes it's actually good to just really feel that and notice that that's happening in your body. So maybe giving your belly a little massage, just beginning to take a little bit of gentle movement and notice your breath. So again, maybe sometimes when we're het up, we kind of tense and we, pull everything up. So we really want to let go. Let the belly expand. Let it be bloated and let yourself feel a bit chubby or a bit just unencumbered or encumbered. Whatever. Words aren't my forte. Take a little movement around. We're going to begin to make this into a little bit of a figure of 8. And maybe you can feel different bits of the belly stretching and moving as you do your figure of 8. And if you're really feeling the bloat, maybe you make it small. If it's just a little and you've got the room, maybe you make it a little bigger. Maybe we begin to engage the arms by bring them around one way and then around the other way. Be free. Be as silly as you want to be as you do this. What we're aiming to do is to open up and get a little bit of a gentle stretch and then a gentle twist as we go around, but using the arms helps to move that all the way up and down the sides and through the torso. So don't worry about looking silly. If I can do this on camera and put it out there for everyone, you can do it. Good, and then bring it back into center, coming up to the top of your mat. We're going to slowly take a little slide down. Let the belly expand. So often we kind of pull it in to fold over, but just let it do its own thing as you take a little fold over today. If you're feeling particularly bad, maybe we stay at this halfway point, so we've still got a little length. Otherwise, we're going to take it a little further, as far as suits you, because sometimes the compression can be quite good. So take that fold, maybe give the head a little shake. Maybe you bend the knees a little, just allowing the body to fold over. And then try and breathe into the belly as you inhale. Feel that expansion. As you exhale, let it go. And there will be extra compression, particularly around the bottom, around the hip creases. Good, and then wherever you are, bring the hands to the mat, coming back onto the knees. So knees are under the hips. We're going to just begin by making some circles through the hips. So we arch the back, send the hips to the right, scoop them under as much as you can, send them to the other side, and arch. So just making that circle. Again, sometimes moving through the vertebra, especially through those lower vertebrae that often get really stuck at the bottom of the back. We can help to activate some of the digestive tract. And again, if you're feeling really bad, that might be just quite small. Especially if it's new to you. I've been having IBS most of my life. I've been learning the stretches and the movements that work for me. When I was young, I used to think I just curl up in a ball, change direction of your circles. And that did ease the pain, but it would take a long time to pass. As I've got older, I've realized that certain stretches for me really help to release where that tension is holding through my digestive tract, through certain points. So you have to find what suits you, but don't be afraid to explore. Okay, from here we're going to take a little puppy pose. So we're going to ease into a little stretch through the front body, walking the knees back, bringing the elbows to the mat. Push into the fingertips as we lengthen the tailbone up. So find those big belly breaths again. Already my belly's making some noises. Maybe give your tail a little wag up here. Again, getting right down into the bottom vertebra, into the bottom of the belly. Good, and then we're going to bring it back up onto all fours. Walk the knees back underneath. Place the hands underneath the shoulders. This time dropping into full cat-cow, but take your time. Take a slow inhale as you begin to drop the belly, lengthening all the way up. Feel that pull. And then as you exhale, start with the tailbone. So we're rippling the muscles. Again, begin to lengthen out. So as you come into your cow pose, really think about lengthening these muscles right from the diaphragm all the way down into the front of the pelvis and the pelvic floor, creating as much length through the digestive tract as you can. And then when you scoop under, pull the belly in and feel that ripple effect moving up as we gently massage the belly by moving through our cat-cow. Slowing it down and really working on that sensation through your belly. Again, how much you do this depends how bloated you are and how used to stretching in that bloated position you are. And don't worry if it releases some wind, it happens. Sometimes that's half the problem. It's the good thing about at-home practice, you haven't got to worry. Good. From here, I want you to find a comfortable seat. So either on the knees or sitting cross-legged. Take a couple of shoulder rolls. So you want to open the chest, but notice if we're kind of splaying out, just get a little bit of a tuck. We want to find some alignment. Take the hands behind and interlace. Pull the knuckles down and away so we've got a little lift. Again, we're creating some space in the front, giving your body room to get some movement going. And then we're going to bring the hands towards one hip, lengthening away. So just a gentle sensation. Maybe you can feel a little something through here. Maybe you feel it somewhere else. Dropping ear to shoulder as well. So the same side that the hands are at, we're dropping ear to shoulder. Sometimes when we're holding that tension, when the belly's bloated, it starts to pull up through the chest and through the shoulders. We can end up with that tightness moving down the arms and back, which only makes us feel more uncomfortable, which makes us tense the diaphragm more, which makes the belly stop moving. It's a whole thing. Good, and then we're going to take the hands to the other side. And again, dropping the ear to the shoulder, just finding a little length through the trap, through the side of the neck. And gently release it off. Bringing the fingertips to the shoulders, so you can adjust your seating position if you like. I like this position when I'm feeling bloated. I feel like it gives me more space to lengthen up, but you do you. We're going to gently begin to take some small twists. So these can just be very small and gentle, or we can start to get a little bit more as we work through. finding a place that, you know, it's going to create a little bit maybe of discomfort, but not outright pain. If you're getting full-on cramps from doing that, release it off, take some shoulder rolls instead, or just take some very gentle movements with the hands sliding down the legs instead of kind of adding that extra. If it feels good for you, maybe we tally the breath up. Feel your belly muscles working and the diaphragm working. This might help to stimulate some movement. Keep that going for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the hands down. Take a moment to let that settle in. Maybe you bring the hands to the belly and just take a gentle massage of the belly, or just a gentle rub, however feels right for you for a moment. Good. So from here, bring yourself down into either cross-legged, or we can take the feet out in front, or just what feels comfortable for a moment. We're going to take a little sway side to side, taking one shoulder across and then the other. And really letting, as we come across one side, lengthen, and then the other side. So both the lengthening and the compression is helping to get things moving. One of the reasons that we get the bloat is because things are getting stagnant. Our body's so highly stressed from other things that it stops working on the digestion for a while, or works too much on the digestion. So you have to work what works for you and how you're feeling today. Next time you come to the left, we're going to bring the left hand down, reach the right arm up. So take a little rock forwards, feel the stretch move into your back more, and then as you inhale, open up and feel that stretch move more, maybe down the side and even into the front of the belly. Big inhale, expand the belly, and then as you exhale, let that kind of crunch happen. Pull in a little, getting that bit of massage. Inhale, open. Belly expands. Exhale, pull the belly button in, letting that curvature happen through the spine. One more time. Inhale, open. And exhale, fold. Let the curvature happen. Walk the hands through the middle. Take a moment to take a little forward fold here. Push the belly out. Dome the belly out for a moment. And then pull it in. Push the belly out. And pull it in. So either do a few more push out, pull ins, or if it's in your practice to ripple the tummy muscles, feel free to do the ripple. Good, and then roll back up nice and tall, taking that little sway. Next time you go to the right, we're going to place that right hand down, reach the left hand up to the sky, take a little side stretch. Good. As we exhale next, we're going to just allow this little forward movement and almost like a little hunch. And then as you inhale, open the chest, dome the belly. And exhale, take that little kind of fold over. Don't worry about perfecting the shape. Find how it feels. Inhale, open, find the stretch, kind of down the side and down into the belly, all the way out through the fingertips. As you exhale, feel that pulling in, that crunch, that little bit of compression. Again, inhale, open. And exhale. Bringing the hands into the center. Maybe this time we just take a forward fold. You can take a little sway if stillness is uncomfortable. Sometimes the bloating will even move into the back and we'll feel that tension around the lower back or the mid back. So a little sway here can be quite nice. And this time as we breathe here, as you inhale, feel the shoulders and the back expand. Breathe into the belly as well. As you exhale, release. Really using the breath one more time. sway as we come back up. Making your way back onto all fours, just briefly. Setting yourself up. Send the right leg out long. Lengthen out. Feel that stretch moving down just gently into the front of the hip creases as you lengthen forwards. Breathe into the belly. Good, and then we're going to bring that right foot up and find a kneeling lunge. Let the weight drop down a little here. And then reach the arms up and overhead. Scoot the tailbone. Breathe deep this time, finding some stretch through the front of the other hip. Again, up into the lower abdominals and try to get all the way up into the rib cage. Shoulders melt down, so we're not looking to bring that tension up into the shoulders. Good, release off. Place the left hand on the mat. Sweep the right arm forwards, up and back. Inhale, send it up and forwards. Again, inhale forwards, up, and then exhale back. Inhale up and exhale down. From here, we're going to tuck the toes on your left foot and lift the knee. Bring yourself up to this high lunge position. So to begin with, bend the back knee so that we can get the tailbone scooped underneath. Then we're going to lengthen away through that back leg. We should get a nice stretch coming all the way into the bottom of the tummy, especially on this left side where it's the last turn before we come into the bowels, and this kind of area, it's like that last turn of the intestine there, which sometimes things can get a little stuck. Also, my chiropractor told me. Okay, from here, sweeping the arms up. Good, reaching up. The right hand is going to take a hold of the left wrist as we take a little lean to the right, really increasing that stretch now all the way up. Maybe we even turn to look under the right armpit. Breathe into your belly. Really feel that stretch. Find a position that feels good for you. One more breath. And then bring the hands back down to the mat. Take the right leg back to meet the left. Take a moment here to reset. From here, send the left leg out long. Just a gentle stretch through the hip crease and belly. And then we're going to bring that left foot up. Find your kneeling lunge. No rush to come into it. Bring yourself slowly up. Tuck in the tailbone and then reaching the arms up. So we want to keep the shoulders down. Tailbone is scooped. We're getting that length through the front of the right hip crease all the way up through the torso. Each inhale we lengthen, each exhale we bring the shoulders down and scoop the tailbone. Breathe into your belly. Good, release it down. Place that right hand on the mat. Left hand, we're going to reach it forwards as you inhale and up. Exhale back. Inhale up. And back down to the ground. Again, inhale, reach forwards and up. Exhale it back. Inhale up. And exhale down. One more time. Inhale, reach. And back. And down to the mat. From here, tuck your right toes. We're going to lift that right knee and bring yourself up. So take a moment to find your footing. Bend that back knee so that we can get that scoop under. Then lengthen the back knee. So we're getting a nice stretch right from the Very bottom of the belly on that right side. Reaching the arms up. Feeling that stretch right from the back foot all the way up and out through the fingertips. Left hand is going to take a hold of right wrist as we find a little side bend as well. And if it suits, looking under that left armpit. Find a position that feels like a nice big stretch through the belly for you. Big inhale. Exhale. And release it off. From here, take a little circle through the hips. One way and then the other. Good. You're going to make your way onto your back. And bring the knees in, hug them in. How tight you hug them in is up to you, depends how you're feeling. Plant the feet back down on the mat. Taking the hands, thumbs on the inside, fingers on the outside, into the hip creases. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, we're going to push away. This can help to create a little bit more space, so when we're feeling tense, the muscles around the lower back and the lower belly can tighten up. So this should help to create a little more space for things to move around and do what they need to do. So breathe deep whilst just adding a gentle pressure. If being lying down doesn't feel good for you, you can bring it up to a seat for this next part. So, you know, if you're really full, sometimes being all the way down isn't great. Maybe you want to come up and halfway, use some blankets. Maybe you want to come up into a full seat. We'll take a little bit of a belly massage. So starting underneath the left rib cage, we're going to just gently push down into the space right on the inside of the left pelvis. If you want to do this with some oil or something on your bare skin, you can. I'm going to leave it covered up and do this through my clothes. So as you exhale, we're going to gently push down. How much pressure is up to you? And maybe you kind of move along each time and get a different bit, or maybe one bit feels like such a nice stretch sensation for you. One more time. Okay, for the next part, inhale, starting here. As you exhale, we're going to take it a little bit faster, not much, down and around. Ooh, and around. So from here, we're going to take it down the belly and then around to the right side. If your clothes are getting in the way like mine, don't worry. If you're at home, you can just go under the trousers. That would be weird for me to do on camera. So from under the rib, we're coming down into the left side of the pelvis, down into the pelvic floor, just gently across to the right side. One more. Maybe you've guessed what's coming next. Inhale. This time as you exhale, we're going to go down, across, and up to the other rib. One more. Last bit, making the full circle. Inhale. Exhale slowly. Down, across, up, and back across. Inhale. Exhale, down, across, up, and across. One more time. Down, across, up, Just take some gentle circles of the belly. Lastly, we're going to take a couple of twists before we kind of release it off. If you're in a seat, you can twist in a seat, taking one hand to the opposite leg and the other hand behind. So for instance, we'll be here. I like to do the twists on the floor when I've got bloating, but it depends if you feel nauseous or not great. Don't do it on the floor. So send the left leg out long, bring the right knee in, and then bring that right knee across the body, wherever it wants to go. Nice and high, so we kind of want to get a bit of compression in the belly. If you're in a seated position, you've got that left hand on the right knee, right hand is reaching behind. Whichever position you're in, we're looking away from the knee. As you inhale, expand the belly. As you exhale, pull muscles in. At the end of your next exhale, gently come back through center. If you're in a seat, just release off and begin to switch. If you're on the ground, bring the left knee in, send the right leg out. And then as we exhale, we're going to come into the twist, taking that left leg across or reaching to the left thigh and reaching right hand behind. Looking away from the leg. Feel that compression in the belly. Big inhale. Dome the belly. As you exhale, pull the muscles in. Again, if you can do the rippling effect, great, do that. Last one at the end of your exhale. Gently come back into center. If you're on your back, hug your knees in. If you're on your front, maybe you take a little forward fold here. Just take a couple of breaths, feeling that compression. Good. And if you're in a seat, just sitting up nice and tall now. If you're on the ground, planting the feet on the ground, just bring one hand to belly, one hand to the heart, and take a few breaths. Just become aware of sensation in your body. Maybe you've still got some bloating. Maybe that's helped. Maybe you released some wind. Maybe this will help in the next half an hour or so, even if it's not instantaneous. And perhaps some of these little stretches we've done are quick little things that you can do, even if you're not doing a full yoga session. One more big breath together. Inhale. And exhale, sigh it out of the mouth. If you're not in a seat, gently make your way there. No rush, keeping your eyes closed, staying a little relaxed. When you're ready, you can gently bat the eyelids open. Hopefully this helped. Thank you for joining me.